Today, we're decluttering. I think January was the last time we did a major declutter of our home, and you can tell, especially with having a baby, there's a lot that's kind of creeped into our house in the past few months. I'm ready to be done with it. So today, I want to go throughout our home, tackle some of the problem spots where clutter's really been piling up, as well as do kind of a broad, just general declutter and organization of our entire house. So that's the plan. Let's get right into this, and I want to get started here in the living room. I'm going to start with looking at our book collection. We keep most of our books on this bookshelf here, but we do have a bunch stored in the TV console. And really with our books, I just want to be looking through the titles and making sure that everything that we have is something that I very realistically see myself wanting to reread in the future, because for me at least, books should be functional, not just a piece of decor. And granted, a good chunk of these are Christopher's too, so I want to be mindful of that. I'm actually pretty impressed. We have quite the stack here. A lot of these are books that Christopher or I have read, and they're good, but we just don't see ourselves rereading. Though this one was actually a duplicate. I didn't realize we had 2 copies of this guy. Some fiction, some nonfiction, bit of a collection. We'll be passing those on. Let's just take a quick peek at the rest of this room, see if there's anything else we want to let go of. Okay, so here's something I have decided to let go of. This ottoman really serves no function. I don't think we've used it once since putting it in here, and I think we can use this space a lot more effectively to store toys. Got this cute little fox hamper, and my thought is if we put it here, we can just store all of Oliver's toys in it. That way, if I'm trying to pick up for company or just generally wanting to tidy up our house, I can take all the toys that usually end up on the floor in the living room, put them in here. It's going to make tidying up a lot easier rather than what we're doing now of having to bring all of his toys over to the nursery. I think that's just going to be a much more functional use of this space. It looks really cute here, making toy storage cool. And just a couple of other things. I think I have too many throw blankets, so going to pass on a couple of the ones that we use the least frequently. And then I'm also thinking I'll let go of this plant. I think it looks really cool, but I'm starting to think through baby proofing, and I just don't really have a spot for it where it can be out of reach of little ones. So I don't know. Gonna see if I can find a spot for it, but if not, I'll probably be passing it on. So just took a break to feed Oliver. Want to chat about something for a second. This isn't about decluttering, but I think it's important. I think in a lot of ways, the newborn phase was actually a lot easier than I expected, which I know isn't everyone's experience, but I loved the newborn stage. I felt like I thrived in it, but just being honest, the past month especially has been a lot harder for me. Mentally, emotionally, it's like I'm figuring out what my new reality looks like as a parent. And there have been some hard days just working through it all. During this season, it has been so helpful to have someone to talk through things with, to process with, and to help me to find a way forward. I just wanted to share a little bit of what I've been walking through, because we all go through hard seasons, and if you're going through just a challenging time right now, then therapy can be a huge help, which is why I am so thankful to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. If you've never heard of BetterHelp before, BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who's trained to give you helpful, unbiased advice. You just go to their website, you can use my link betterhelp.com/Ashlynne Eaton, answer a few questions, and BetterHelp will match you with a professional who has years of experience helping people in situations just like yours. What I love is you can do it all from your phone, your computer, via video chat, phone call, messaging, whatever you feel most comfortable with, and you'll be matched with a therapist usually within 48 hours. So let BetterHelp connect you with a therapist who can support you, all from the comfort of your own home. Visit betterhelp.com/Ashlynne Eaton or select Ashlynne Eaton at sign up to enjoy a special discount off your first month. Life is so full of both beautiful and challenging seasons. Sometimes those seasons happen at the same time. It's where I'm at right now. But I just want to encourage you, if you need help, to get the help you need. Okay, but now let's get back to decluttering. All right, let's tackle the bedroom next. There are a few big areas in here that I want to focus on. The first of which being this dresser. Also want to take a look at our nightstands. And then it's been a while since I've been through my makeup. Let's take a quick look through that too. So in here I found a lot of stuff that honestly just wasn't where it belonged. Envelopes that I need to put away, pictures that need to go in the memories box, things like that. However, did find a handful of things that I'm wanting to declutter. Found a few pieces of clothing that I'd set aside. They're all pre-pregnancy clothing items that I'd set aside, kind of waiting till I fit in them again. And at that point I was planning to reintroduce them into my wardrobe. And for the most part, I am just keeping that stash where it is. However, there are a couple of items that on second thought, just don't think that I'm ever going to want to wear again. And so going to be letting go of those items. Also a pair of sleep shorts that I wore during pregnancy and just didn't love. I must have missed them when I was going through everything the first time. I have a makeup bag that just needs to be washed, so I pulled that out. A couple lip products that I don't see myself wearing again. A lot of trash. A couple of electronics. I have a bad memory card, and then this microphone I got for free. Thought I might use it, but I just haven't pulled it out to use it, so going to pass that on. A ring that I haven't worn in who knows how long, and then some empty products too. It's a very eclectic haul, but all things that it's time to move on from. Oh, and I did also pull out a couple of shirts from my pre-pregnancy clothing stash that I'm pretty sure will fit now, so I'll be adding those back into my wardrobe. Oh, and while I'm in here and thinking about it, let me give this plant a little trim. It is trailing so far on the ground. Just go ahead and snip it in a few places. Lighten the load on this guy a bit. So much better. Make a whole new plant with these. Maybe I will give it to a friend. Let's work on the nursery next, and this dresser is the main thing in here that I want to tackle. I know that I need to restock the diapers, but I also want to go through all of Oliver's clothing. There's a lot that I know doesn't fit him anymore. He just won't stop growing. I want to go through his 3 to 6 months clothes, remove what no longer fits him. Also, I've already removed, I think, all of the 0 to 3 months items, but I want to go through all of that, see what we want to keep for future babies and what we want to move on from. And then I also want to go through, I just got some new 6 to 12 month clothing items, so I want to kind of get that ready to be able to pull out in the next few months here as the weather cools down. Let's start with restocking this drawer. We can get to the clothing. did a little reorganizing and that dresser is looking a lot better. I also pulled out all of the clothes that no longer fit Oliver. It's a lot more here than I thought. So what I'm going to do is go through all of this, and then I also have his 0 to 3 months items in the closet. Pull all of that out. I want to go through it and figure out what we want to save for future babies and what of it I'm cool with passing on. Obviously you can't know if your future baby is going to be a boy, a girl, what season they'll be born in. So I think in general I'm trying to stick towards only keeping the things that we really love and the things that are a bit more season and gender neutral. That way whatever time of year, whatever gender baby that we have, they'll be able to have and to be able to use some of those items. So finished going through everything and I've got it all grouped into a couple of different piles. So I've got the precious items that I know I want to save for future babies. Then I've got one of things that we liked but that aren't precious. They aren't things that I know that I want to use again. They're things that I'd like to use again, but I'm not super attached to. And so what I'm going to do is actually offer to some friends I know who have babies that are either a few months younger than Oliver or who are expecting right now. I'm just going to offer if anyone wants to borrow some of those items. That way they can use them, they can love them in the interim period, because who knows when or if we'd be able to use those things again. And they can use them, and if they are able to return them, great, and if they get stained or anything like that, it's not a big deal. So that's the second pile. And then there are a few things that I bought wanting to try and was even excited about, but that we didn't end up loving. They were a bit on the spendier side, so I'm probably going to try selling those first, and if they don't sell, we'll just go ahead and donate them, pass them on to friends, all of that. But it would be nice to recuperate some of the money I invested in them. And I don't know if there's anything here in the closet that needs to be decluttered. A lot of it is just things that I'm waiting for Oliver to grow into, but it is pretty messy, so let's give it a quick tidy up. So nothing much new in there that I'm wanting to donate. However, I was able to pull out a ton of trash, organize everything. It's looking a lot better in there now. Did also find an extra little pile of things that I'm wanting to pass on to friends too. So I've got a lot of stuff and I really just need to find a time to go through to take pictures of everything and to share it with everyone. That time is not now though, so let me look at my calendar. It's like Saturday is pretty free for me. So what I'm gonna do is just create a little event just to remind myself to go through and take pictures of everything. There we go, scheduled for Saturday. Okay, then the last bigger space that I wanted to get to before there's some smaller spaces that I'd love to touch on as well. But the last big space that I wanted to spend some time decluttering in is the bathroom. I was looking through them recently and there's a lot that I just don't see myself using going forward. So figured we could go through them, mind the mess though, because I definitely need to clean this bathroom soon as well. I found a good bit of stuff in here. Let me walk you through it. So here's everything that I found. Got some skincare items that aren't breastfeeding friendly. Don't know that I'll get the chance to use those before they expire, so rather pass them on now. Some trash, just fully used up products. A few things that I are either empty or don't see myself using. I'm just not a big sheet mask person. Got a couple of rings that are pretty tarnished. And then over here, I have a pair of very badly scratched sunglasses, some pads from my postpartum days that I'm just not going to need. And then this is just a fully used up little razor blade. So time to throw that one out. So that is everything that I found in the bathroom. And here in the dining room, I want to go through this bar cabinet. I know there's quite a few things in here that I want to move on from. Tried this basil strawberry syrup and it just wasn't my favorite. The set of glasses is really cute. I have a set of, I think, 12. I just never use them. I always find myself reaching for something else. So I'm going to see if somebody else wants them. I feel like for the right person, they'd be so fun. These ones and these ones I use all the time. I think the rest of the drinks can stay down there. Let's tackle the bottom drawer. This is where I store a lot of seasonal decor. So down there I found a lid, a vase, which I kind of like the color of, but it just feels a little generic. I feel like I could thrift something a bit cooler that I prefer using for little floral arrangements and such. And then the big thing that I'll be decluttering from here is this pampas grass vase setup. I have had a few friends over who have 1-year-olds in the past few months, and they all just gravitate to this like nothing else. Makes a big mess, and with Oliver going to be entering that stage here fairly soon, I just feel like it's time to pass this on to someone who doesn't have a kid, because yeah, it's fun to play with. I can't blame them, but pampas grass creates the kind of mess that I'm just not prepared to deal with. So it's time for someone else to take this one out. It's really pretty though. I've loved having it in our house the past few years. And just one last space before we call it a day, I want to go through our entryway closet and cabinets. Start with jackets. Between these two spaces, got a pair of shoes, it's probably half a size too small for me, a bag that I don't use, another bag that I probably would use if it was clean, but it is so dirty. So I'm going to try cleaning that, and if it comes clean, great, we'll keep it, probably keep using it, but if it doesn't, then we'll just pass that on. Microfiber towel we don't use. This probably should have gotten put back with my maternity clothes that I stored away for future use, but yeah, it's currently very large on me, but I'm sure if I'm pregnant again in the winter, I'll want that, so I'm just going to store that away. Got a jacket that is at least a size, if not 2 sizes, too big for Christopher, which means that it's massive on me. And then this, oh, actually, I just need to put that back in the closet. That is staying. Then we've got a Lululemon bag that, honestly, I don't know where this came from, but we don't really need it. Some empty envelopes, trash, a landscaping projects book, which I flipped through and not sure that we'll actually end up doing any of those projects, so would rather pass that on to someone who can use it. And then we've got more scratched sunglasses, paint samples from when we did the nursery, that goes in the garage. A return where we just missed the return deadline, it's a light bulb, try seeing if anybody else could use that. And then we have some liquid IV that will just go in the pantry, not decluttering that. A couple of things here that belong in the garage, and then yeah, just a couple random pieces of trash. I think that we're going to call this one here. I feel like when it comes to decluttering, you can always keep going, but sometimes you just need to know when you've made some good progress and it's time to take a break to deal with all of the things that you decide to let go of. So that is what I'm going to do now. But I really hope that you enjoyed coming along with me today as we decluttered my home, and I have to say it really does feel amazing getting some of this stuff out of my space. It really feels like I have my home back again. It was starting to feel a little bit out of control for a bit there. But I hope that this can serve as an encouragement, a reminder to you to declutter your space, get a little decluttering session on the calendar, and it always does just feel so good to let go of the things that you're not loving, you're not using, and that are just taking up space. Before I go, I did just quickly want to remind you to check out BetterHelp. If you haven't already, you can sign up using the link in the description box below, or I'll leave it on the screen here. And as always, friends, don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.